Hey friends, crypto is on fire. Bitcoin is up 423% over the past year and Ethereum almost 900%. But again, that's nothing comparing to fan favorite Dogecoin, which is almost 10,000% higher than it was a year ago. Crypto is a roller coaster, but in this video I'll tell you how you in Denmark can get started into crypto investing in a safe, sustainable and easy way. Why invest in crypto? This for two main reasons. The first one, and this is just my opinion, so I am not a financial advisor, so do your own research before you go and start doing things like this and getting into crypto. But with that said, Bitcoin is a great asymmetrical bet, and I can now say I would extend that to Ethereum as well, in the sense that the chances that Bitcoin or Ethereum might go down to zero are real. So let's be honest, it's not that this might not happen, it's definitely on the table, but maybe it's a 5% chance, 10% chance, and I'm even maybe putting them quite higher when I say that. But there's also a decent chance as well that this might 100x, they might 10x, this might really grow a lot versus what they are at the moment. And as I said, basically Ethereum over the past year is 10x, Bitcoin over the past few years almost 100x. So you could say again, there's these great opportunities out there. Yeah, there is a downside, and when you invest in crypto you should be aware that you might lose all your money, but at the same time these returns that you can have, like this 100x your money, this is life-changing sum of money for a lot of people. It means that if you put $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, that can become a really sizable pot of money, and again help you change your life. One thing to note as well is that both Bitcoin and Ethereum are a lot more mature as assets now. We have big companies such as Tesla going and investing into Bitcoin. We have all these big hedge funds investing into Bitcoin as well. So you could say now the chances of Bitcoin going to zero are becoming slimmer and slimmer with each passing year. But of course you could say on the flip side, the chances that Bitcoin doing 100x from where it is at the moment to then be these millions of dollars, yeah, okay, you could say it's becoming also slimmer. So it means that the returns will be smaller and smaller as the asset grows. But again, that's the trajectory of a lot of assets. And if you ask a lot of people, we say still that Bitcoin and Ethereum is still early. The second reason I recommend you get into crypto is that now you can get interest from your crypto. There's something called decentralized finance, and that means in practice that now if you have Bitcoin, you have Ethereum, you have different other cryptocurrencies, you can get interest when you have them, for example, in an account in a service like just BlockFi. In BlockFi, for example, you get 8% per year on your USDC coin, which is a stable coin pegged to the US dollar. And with Bitcoin, you can get up to 6% depending on how much Bitcoin you have. And again, before you just had Bitcoin and it's okay, I have Bitcoin, but now you're actually getting 6% on your Bitcoin. That's, if you just have it laying around, that's great. And that also applies for a lot of other cryptocurrencies, which means that you can get money from your crypto without just having to hoping to go up or whatever. It's great. Now that you decided, okay, let's get into crypto, you're interested in getting into crypto, I'll tell you exactly what I told my own wife she should do when she wanted to get into crypto, so you can see I have a bit of a skin in the game, and what approach I suggest to you is something that we have tried within my own family. And there is two things. First is that you should dollar cost average your way into crypto. So if you have, let's say, 10,000 euro or whatever big number that you want to invest into crypto, likely the best time is not to just time the market and try to find the best opportunity to buy. Sometimes it is, but in most times you might be too stressed about it. Just put, for example, a buy of 1,000 euros or whatever it is that you're willing to invest each month in a service such as Coinbase, and I'm going to explain that in a few minutes, and then slowly get your way into the crypto, because then you basically remove yourself of the risk of, okay, maybe you go too high, maybe you go too low. You just kind of average out over the whole year. And if you are a believer that this could be a good asymmetrical bet, and when I say that, and as most of you know, I like medium long-term investments and not short-term, then this is going to work. The second thing as well is that, yes, there's a lot of money to be made in crypto, but for most people, I suggest that you get into Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is kind of the blue chips. These are the things that are likely not going to go to zero. Maybe they do, but again, they're like the more mature cryptocurrencies. And yes, there's a lot of more money to be made if you had played into Dogecoin, or if you get into the new cool ones as Solana or Phantom, as I just did a few months back. But again, for most people, for people that are just putting their feet into crypto world, just stick to Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you then become more mature into the crypto space and have a few months in and read a lot and analyze the market a little bit more, then yes, you can get into other cryptos. But for most people, if this is new for you, just get into Bitcoin and Ethereum. So how do you get started in cryptos? To buy crypto, you need to use something called an exchange. An exchange is a mix of an online trader and a bank at the same time, where you can go and buy and sell cryptocurrencies and also hold them as well if that's what you want. For most people, what I suggest is use something called Coinbase, which is the safest, most reputable, and also the most user-friendly crypto exchange. There are alternatives to Coinbase. So for example, you have Kraken, which is an exchange I also use myself because it has lower fees. They also have Binance, which has the most amount of cryptocurrencies among the big exchanges. Then you have Gemini, and you have a lot of other exchanges as well, which I also could say also reputable, likely also very safe. But nothing, in my opinion, comes as easy and user-friendly as Coinbase. And that's again why I suggested my wife to start using Coinbase instead. And I use well myself. So even though I use other exchanges as well, I get my auto buys in Coinbase, and then I send, for example, my coins to something like BlockFi, where I get interest, or I send it to another exchange and get another cryptocurrencies. But by and large, Coinbase sends like the on ramp. And then you can also, for example, keep your coins in Coinbase, which is, again, as I said, likely one of the safest places to do. But in case you want to keep your coins somewhere else, for example, you can keep it in a hardware wallet or cold storage, as some people call it. And that's kind of a USB pen like a thing that basically you can keep your coins there and you have it traveling with you as well, if that's what you want. And then if you want to be a Jedi mind trick type of guy, you can even remember your passkey for your Bitcoins or your Ethereum or whatever cryptocurrency you have. And then you don't even need to have a Coinbase account, you need to have an exchange account, then you need to have a hardware wallet. You can basically have your coins in your mind and basically be going around the world with $1 million like in dollars in cryptos just on your head, which is absolutely crazy. And again, not for most people, but again, just the fact that you can do that is insane. Now, before I move on, make sure you click subscribe below, because that's the way you will be able to get all my future videos on cryptocurrencies. I'll be doing some more advanced videos in the future, so you don't get this better basic hand holding at the moment, and actually show you what are the key cryptos I see the most long-term potential and how you can actually get these 100x returns, what are the most risky assets and so on. That's in future videos, so make sure you click subscribe below to get that when that happens. This is how Coinbase looks when you log in. We basically see how much your portfolio is, how you have been performing overall, and then what are your different assets that you have. And then you can, for example, go here and where it says trade and go and buy and trade Bitcoin. As you can see, I'm not so rich, so please don't hack me. And when you go to trade, you can basically see the different coins you can buy. Coinbase has a lot of coins, but it's not the biggest in terms of coins. And then you can go here where it says recurring buys. And this is where you have the key to, for example, what I suggest is setting up a monthly recurring buy. So you put here, you put, for example, how much you want to buy. You can put like twice a month, monthly. I suggest doing monthly, depends on how much money you want to put. So if you, for example, you put more than, let's say, 200 euro a month, maybe you can do it twice a month. If you're putting 1,000 euro a month, you might be doing it weekly instead. So you can see, because then you can be going with the ups and lows of Bitcoin. But anyway, what I have been doing myself for most of the time is just to put a monthly buy. I can see how much you have in euros in the account. For example, you can say, okay, I want to put 300 euro for the next month, and then you would see like, okay, buy Bitcoin from this euro wallet. You can preview the buy, and you see how much it's going to be buying. It's going to be buying the 18th of every month. This is the day I'm like recording the video here, but it could be also that if you're doing this the 28th, it will show the 28th. How much will be the price of Bitcoin when you buy it now? How much you will get in terms of Bitcoin, and then how much is the fee for Coinbase. As you can see, the fee is like 4 euro 40. If you buy less, the fee will be less, but I think it's never lower than 3 euros. Now, the key here with the fee is that, yeah, of course it could be better if we wouldn't have fees like this, but at the end of the day, like, one of the biggest regrets I have in the crypto space is that a few years back, I didn't want to pay this 4 euro fee or whatever to buy like 300 euro a month, and I just wanted to do buys timing the market, and it just didn't work very well. So I think it's just better to do the diligent auto buying, forget about the fees, because in the big scheme of things, if this goes 100x, you will not really care about 4 euros here and 4 euros there, honestly. And then you click buy now, and then you'll just be done. So that's how you do it. Now, when it comes to adding money into Coinbase, of course, I said I had like 350 euros or ish, something like that, in my account. That means because I sent the money to the Coinbase account. If you are just starting out, you will not have any money, but you can top up your Coinbase account with credit card, with debit card, or even with bank transfer. My suggestion for most people, if you're going to be doing these recurring buys, and again, that's what I do and I suggest most people to do, is that you set up an auto transfer from your bank account into Coinbase. And again, you can do that. It's all SEPA transfer. It's basically instantaneous and almost free. You can also do it via Revolut if that's what you prefer as well. So you don't want to like send Krona or pay fee or whatever. You can just do it via Revolut as well. I have done that in the past as well, and that works. And at the end of the day, like, the money will almost show up instantaneously here, and then make sure that the money is coming each month. All right, as you can see, it's super easy to set up these auto buys in Coinbase. And two more things before we move on. And the first one is that crypto is volatile. Just don't freak out in case you start buying and the next month or the next day after your auto buy, the Coinbase, like, you can see that your Coinbase account crashes down by 20%. That happens all the time. I got used to it myself. My wife got a bit wary at the beginning, but the reality is that you're getting into a very volatile market. If you're looking for quick profits, this is not the way to go. But again, if you're looking to the medium and long term, if you're looking to invest for a year, just keep at it. Like, don't stop the auto buys because 1 or 2 months it went wrong. Don't worry. just keep buying. Again, my idea is that if you want to make a commitment at least 6 months, at least a year, that's probably the best way to go. And again, it's money you should be willing to lose. So if you are really having second thoughts and you're just too wary of like, and it pains you and so on, just don't buy. It's money you should be willing to lose, but hopefully you don't. But again, just in that context, it's money again that it might just pop in any second. The second thing before everyone asks me is taxes. How are taxes with cryptocurrencies? My easy answer is that if you never sell, you never pay taxes. The whole idea of this decentralized finance that I just told you about is that you can get interest on your crypto without selling ever your crypto. So if you're a believer that Bitcoin will be a lot bigger than it is now, or Ethereum will be bigger than what it is now, or the other cryptocurrencies will go a lot higher than they are, and for example, that's my view as well. You don't need to sell your crypto. What you can do is put your cryptos in these like asset yielding places, like it can be like in Kraken, you can stack up some of your cryptos. In BlockFi, you can also do that, or you can even use some of the new protocols such as Yearn to also stack up and get rewards. Then you can get interest on your crypto, and then of course, yeah, that interest will have to pay as any other interest. But again, it's not that you need to sell your asset. It's not that you need to give half of your Bitcoin earnings to the state, because again, you don't sell. Next up, if you haven't done so yet, before you start buying into crypto, you should buy into normal stocks. I think that's the best pick to most people. And if you want to get into normal stocks, my suggestion is the same. Set up automatic monthly buys. And the way you do that is with Nordnet's models of sparring. This is the easiest setup for people in Denmark, and there's a video over here where I explain that concept in detail. Alright, with that, thank you for watching all the way to the end, and see you next week.